Okay, so the class is being recorded now, and welcome once again to the class. So we've looked at this yesterday. This is how to round off numbers. So this is what we did yesterday, and I believe that if you were not able to get it yesterday, you can always access it from our YouTube page. So we have the name of the function is round. Then we have is a math function. It rounds up a number to the specific number of digits, right? So this is the function argument is numbers and number digits. Now, when you're using round, it just rounds off number based on the normal rule of rounding. We're told that after the decimal point, if the number after it is up to 5, that is when it can convert to an extra one and join 7. So, but since it's a lower number, it's 4, so you cannot round this off the way you want to round it. So you just leave it at that. All the other decimals are eradicated. So, but when you are trying to do round up, even if the number before the point, even if it's not up to 5, when you are using round up, it's just going to round it. Just add 1 to 7, becomes 398. So that is when you're using round up. When you're using round down, it does the opposite, right? So that is how it's. So let's now go further to concatenate. I told us that just like the way we use the date function yesterday, where you have the day, you have the month, then you have the year, then you want to merge it together for it to give you the dates. Like first, today is the 5th of February 2026. So if you have today's dates, like today is day 5, right? In a separate column, you have the month. Today is February. Then you have the year 2026. Together, let it come together like a date. Use the date function for it. So we're also going to use concatenate. Now, when you're doing concatenate, you are trying to merge the words together. You are trying to merge words together, right? So here we are looking at Fiki and Akpan. So these words now, they are supposed to be together. Let's say you have this report, and then the auditor, you want to submit it to the auditor. The auditor is saying, no, I don't want it separated like this. And let's say the data, they are up to like 1 billion or so. It's going to be a lot of work to start, with typing them in a cell. Another form. The concatenate is like any other function. You open your bracket, select what you want to join. Want to join Julie, then we want a space in between it. So that space is what, the space we normally put at the middle. There's always this space. We are trying to say that between Julie and Akpan, there should be a separation so that the names are not joined together. Julie Akpan, no, or Akpan Julie. We want there to be a space at the middle. That is here. I hope you see anybody. Okay. Can you hear me? Okay, fine. So yeah, so a call is actually coming, and the call is the one disturbing. I hope it doesn't cut us away. So let me just tell the person I'm in a call. I'm in a class. Okay, so that's that. Now let's now continue with it. We've seen how to do concatenate. So just any space you want the information to be, just so there are two ways you can achieve it. You can either use concatenate like this. When you put like a function, let's do an example. We have boss here, or we have Priscilla, and here we have Johnson. So you want to merge these two words together. You simply come here. Oh, there's a formula in there before. So what I will do, let me delete the formula in there. So just simply say equal to, you now start with the function name, which is concatenate. Concatenate. Then you open your bracket, then select the data you want to merge. So you want to merge Priscilla, then you put a comma, then you now open the double quote, the first double quote, then you leave a gap, another double quote again. And to merge Johnson with it, then you close the bracket and then hit enter, and automatically you can see the way it's the what we are getting now. So the space, that's double quotation that we put at the middle, that double quotation, the function is to make there to be space between Priscilla and Johnson, so that it doesn't look like it's merged together like one word. So there must be a space in between that. So that's how to use concatenate. So you can use concatenate anytime you have any data. So let's try something. Let's assume we have three names. Let's say we have Bello. Let's assume we have Bello here, right? Then here we have Yusuf. How do they spell Yusuf again? Or Usman. Okay, let's say we have Usman here. Then here we have let's say we have Paul. So we want to join these three things together. So what we do, we delete what is here. We now say equal to, then start with the function name, concatenate, then you open your bracket, select the first word, right? Put a comma, then open the double quotes, the first one, then you now leave a space, do the second double quote, right? Put a comma again, then select the second word, then put a comma again, open the double quote, because we are not done. We have three words together. You open another double quote, put a comma, then you select the last name, which is Paul. So once you have done that, you close your bracket, and then you click on enter. So we can also use to merge three words. So that is how it's going to be. So once you're done merging it like this, right? We already know that the auditor does not want the name separated like this. They don't need the name separated. So what you do is that you can now copy the name, and then you now paste it special, space it like so when you copy the name, there won't be any formula in it again. Then you can decide to delete this Julie, delete Akpan, then you're going to see Akpan Julie here and all that. So if you understand what I just said, you can simply give me a thumbs up. Let me know you are following. Do you understand what we just did on concatenate? Fine. So we are going to move further. There's another thing we can do different from that concatenate. We can see, however, the same thing. And what are we going to do is to manually try and do it. You can see all this place now. That means that to achieve this concatenate, to join words together, there are two ways in which you can achieve it. The first one is what we have done before, which is by looking at the concatenate function name. What it does is that it joins text together. So it joins two or more text string into one text string. So two or more. That means that even if you have up to 1,000 different names, you can merge everything together, provided you know what you're doing. Then the function argument is a text. Both of them are text. Then the next one, we've seen how it works. So let's now look at the alternative. Alternative to this is that you can use this formula that is here, right? Instead of it to begin with concatenate, just select where the data is, put and at the middle, then you open your quote. Now you know that when you select G3 before, you have to put a comma. But this time, because we are not using any concatenate, any function name, you just want to select G3, then no need for comma, put and there, then you now open your double quote, put another and, then you now put F3. So let's try that out. So what do you want to do? Let's come over here. We want to do something. We now say equal to, right? You want to add, want to merge Priscilla. We put it here. What we normally do before, we put a comma, but don't put a comma. Rather than put a comma, put and, right? Then when you put the and sign, then open the double quote. Okay, the first double quote, you leave a space, the second double quote. Then the next thing you want to do, you want to select the second name. Yeah, so you also put and here also, sorry. You put and. That means that before the double quote, you put and. After the double quote, you also put and. Then also make sure that you don't put any comma. You don't need any comma in it. Then select the second name. You select the second name. Once you've done that, then you can go on and hit enter. Now you can see that here, you're not using any function name. So there's no need for you to open a bracket. You're not using any function name. No need to use a bracket to open a bracket. Select where the data is, put and, then put the double column, double quote, sorry, double quote, put another and, select the other place that the information is, then click on enter. And automatically you can see it has added the two names together. So let me try and make this thing wrap around. So it's wrapping around. I don't want to wrap around. So that's it. So you can see the way it is now, exactly the way we did it over here. That's the same way it's appearing over here. So I believe with that, we've been able to understand how to concatenate. Then we move on from there. It's a note, concatenate. Always use the copy and paste special to paste values before deleting the converted version. What are they saying? They're trying to tell you that when the auditor is telling you he doesn't need the word, want the names separately, you want it together. After you've used formula to achieve this, what you now do is that you now copy it. Let's copy this place now. You copy this place now, copy it, right? When you copy it, because we want to delete this, we want to delete all this other information. The auditor does not need them separately. He needs them together like a sentence, right? So what you do is that you copy here, Control C. When you copy it, then come here, you right click. Once you right click, you now go to paste it special. So you click on this drop box, you will see a space special that has 1, 2, 3. So this is it. You paste special with this number. So you're placing the value 1, 2, 3. That is what you're going to do. Then just click on it. Okay. When you click on it, then you discover that there's no longer formula here. Rather, we have normal words. Then what you do is that you now come here, you can delete all this area, and voila, the name has been replaced. So now, rather than us having the names separately, we now have the names together. So that is that. Then let's move away from here. Let's go and do some practice exercise, right? We've already understood what function it is. So here, this is a data, all right? So this data, we have the name, and so this is the name, right? Okay. So let's move over to where we have okay, so I think here it has been joined. Then when it was joined, we now also deleted the name. So there's another formula that we can use to actually separate. We can also use to separate names like this. Let's assume you don't want it equal Mike. You don't want it together. You want it to separate them. There's another formula we're going to use. But before we do that, we are only practicing how to concatenate. So what I'm going to do, let me manually separate this thing. I will delete this one. Oh, sorry. Because the data is not much, I can just delete the other names that I don't need. So I'll delete this one. I don't need this name. Then here, I don't need Jessica. I don't need Jessica. I delete it. I don't need Idowu. I also delete it. I don't need Dupe. I don't need Dupe. I delete Dupe. I don't need Ayo. I don't need Ayo. I don't need Doris. Okay, I don't need Felix. Oh, undo. I don't need Felix. It's Felix I don't need. So let me click here. I don't need Ari. I don't need Steve. Now, because I've not taught you the other method of separating words or names, that's why I'm not using that method. I'm just trying to delete it manually so that you can understand what we are doing, okay? So that you can appreciate it. Now, when you have this kind of names, right? this, you have done a report, and let's assume this report is covering as much cells as possible, right? And then this report looks very fantastic, and you thought in your mind that you've done something very fantastic, but your supervisor is telling you, no, this is not how I want it. I want the names together. So it becomes a challenge if you don't understand how to use concatenate. Concatenate will make your life very easy. So what you need to do is that when you have this kind of report, just simply insert another column in between this other figure that we don't need. Sorry, this other figure that we don't want to touch, and the names. So just come here, put your cursor on column C. When you put your cursor on column C, click on it, then right click. When you right click on it, then you now click on insert. So automatically it inserts another column at the middle. So this is what we want to join. This is what we want to join the names together. So we now come here. We can use two formulas. Let's try to use the first one. The first one is to say, to use the name, the function name, concatenate, then open your bracket, select where you want the names you want to join, put a comma. Then the next thing is that put the open quote, the double open quote. After you've done that, put a comma. Then you now select the other name you want to join. Then at the end of the day, now close the column. Then you click on enter. So you can see that here it has joined it together. Let's use another alternative. Another alternative is say equal to, select the name, then put the and, then open the quotation mark, then put another and again, then select David. Okay, so two ways you can achieve it. Click enter. So you're going to achieve the same thing. So I've been able to teach us all these. So we want to repeat the same for all of them. So we can copy this one from the top, copy it and paste here, paste like this. We can also copy this one, the other formula, copy it like this, and also come and paste it here. At the end of the day, you are going to achieve the same thing. So what do you want to do? Do you want to just leave this report like this, or we need to delete all this? So if you delete all this now without you working on this place, you will not achieve what you want to achieve. So let's assume we are done with the formula like this, and we feel that, okay, fine, it's looking good. Now we have the names together. Then you now come over here, you now delete these two. You discover that your what's it called? So you can see it will be giving you reference error. So let's undo it. And then this is the better approach to do. Before you delete these names that you join together, make sure that this thing is now showing like a text and no longer like a formula. So what do? You copy everywhere that the data is. When you copy all the places the data is, Control C, and then you now come here and paste it partial. Right click and look at it. This thing that has 1, 2, 3. This is what you are pressing. Look at, right click, then select this thing that has 1, 2, 3. That is to paste value. You now click on it, and that is the names are now like text. You can now go on and delete all these things. You can go on and delete all these things. So you control and you can delete. So shift to the left, yes. So we've deleted everything, and this is what we have now. So you can see that when I deleted this thing, I don't even need to, actually, okay, let me undo. We discover that, yeah, so what we need to do, we just delete from the column, delete from the header, delete from here like this, and delete, sorry, not insert, sorry, onto Z, just right click and delete. And this is what we want to have in the worksheet. So here is the name that we need to have. So let's save, fine. All right, so that's that. So they say use the concatenate function to join the surname and the first name above in a single column. So we've done that. Well, let's undo it so that we can have it separately like this, so that anytime we get to this sheet, we can discover that the names have been joined, and then you can understand how the names were joined. Let me Control D again. Okay, so this is what we have. We have the formulas, we have everything the way we need it to be. So when I send you this sheet, you understand that the names are separated before we join them together. So let's move on. Let's now look at another formula. This formula now is going to surprise you. So let's click on this formula, text to column. Now, text to column, type your name into a cell, that is cell A1, select the cell, and from the data tab, click the text to column from data tools group, then click to check fix width and whatever. So let's go and check. So here, yeah, so we have Nathaniel, we have these, right? So text to column, what does it do? Let's go to our home tab. As I said, go to your home tab, type so you type your name into a cell A1. So let's type every of our name into a cell, which is cell A1. So let's copy here. We come here, we double click, we leave a space, we Ctrl V. Oh, sorry, what is happening? I want to copy this, right? I copy, then I come here, Ctrl V. It's not working. What is happening? I'm coming. Okay, so let's come here again. Let's come here. Let's copy this thing. We have, let me type it. Udon soup. Iboro Nathaniel. So we have these words in column A, right? Then they told you that, no, why are you doing this? You are not supposed to have everything in column A. How do you know what the surname is? How do you know what the first name is? How do you also know what the middle name is? So whenever you have this kind of challenge, okay, all you need to do is just go to your home tab, right? Just go to your tabs, right? Then look for the data tab. Click on it. You select the names, then go to the data tab, right? Go to the data tab. You click on the data tab. Then from there, look for what they call text to column from the data tools. So what are the data tools? We are looking for text to column. So you check for it. So you can see that from the data tools, you can see it at the right hand side. You have text to column. So when you click on it, so they say that it splits a single column of text into multiple columns. For example, you can separate a column of full name into separate first and last name columns. You can choose how to split. Let me check again. Then you can choose how to split it up, fix width, or split at each comma, period, or other character. So let's now come here. So we want to split it. So let's click on text to column. When you click on text to column, it's going to ask you, how do you want it to be, right? So it's going to show you in your preview of selected tab. So it's asking you now, do you need it to be fixed width? When you have it as a fixed width, the feet are aligned in columns with space between each field. So that is how it will be. Then the other one, delimiter, characters such as commas or tab separate each field. So let's try the first one. Well, let's try the first one. Let's click on next because we are looking at the fixed width. So it's going to fix. So this one now, feet are aligned in columns with space between each field. So let's click on next. Okay, so this eye is going to be, it's telling you that this eye is going to be, one is going to be in column A, the other will be in column B, the other will be in column C. Then we click on next again. Then we click on next again. Okay, so yeah, it's telling you this screen lets you select each column and set the data format. So we want the data format to be text, right? So we want the data format to be text. Everything should be text. This also should be text. This as well should be a text. Then we now go on, we can click on finish. So automatically you can see that it has separated this thing that was together before, it has separated it into different spaces. So that is how to do that. So at times you discover that in your, most times when you want to copy something from Word to Excel, you always have a challenge because Whereas like Word is like a plain sheet of paper, Excel has different columns, right? So when you copy that thing, you click, you put your cursor here, and you Control V. Automatically, you discover that that thing that you copied is only going to be in your column A. The other places, there's nothing in the other places. But if you need this thing for your formulas or whatever, you might need to use your text to column to be able to separate those things that you've copied so that you can work with them, right? So let's do something. Let's try an example. So that let's assume we have a name, a long name here, or I think the best thing is to come over here and check for a Word document. Is there any Word document I can use? Okay, so I have a Word document here. This is okay, let me click on this Word document. Okay, I don't want to use this format. Sorry. I don't want to use this format. Sorry. Let me right click. So let's right click and open a new Word. Okay, so we have this over here. Okay, so I come to the bottom. I'm looking for something I can copy, right? I'm looking for something I can actually copy. Let's assume you have something like this, and then you need this thing in your Excel format. So you come here, you copy it like this. Once you copy it, you come back to Excel. You come back to Excel, and then you go and paste it. So you come here, you Control V. When you Control V, you discover that though it is showing us that it's in is here, is here, is here. That's what we are seeing. But in the right sense, is only in our column A, right? So what do we need to do? We cannot use this information this way because here we have what do we have here? We have these are numbers, right? Whereas this one is a text. So in order to be able to separate this thing, you need to use that formula. So you come here, you click on any cell, come to your data tab. When you come to your data tab, then you now look for your text to column. Once you click on your text to column, so it's going to tell you this is what you want to achieve. You say next. Then it's telling you that this is how it's going to be splitted. You also say next. Then the next thing you're going to ask you is that what do you want this thing to be? Do you want it to be just general? Do you want it to be a text? Do you want it to be a date? Or do you want it to be do you want it to be a number? So let's assume we are clicking on general. Here also we are clicking on general. Here also is general. Then let's click on finish. Let's see what happens. So we click on finish, and here we can see here we have. So if you have numbers, just click on general. General will be able to separate it. You can see we now have it like this. But you come here, you can see that there's nothing here. So you need to do the same thing for this one. So when you have this one now, just go back to your data. When you go to your data, right, come to your text to column. Then you now set the first, this fixed width is okay. We click on next. When you click on next, it's going to ask you, okay, click on next again. Click on next again. Then it's telling you what do you want this space to be. This is motor vehicle, right? So we want this space to be a text. Motor, here also is a text, right? Motor and this one, they are text. But these other 4 places, they can leave them as general. So it's going to come out as numbers. But if this one, we want this one to be a text also, you can click on text, and then you discover that you will not be able to use this number in your calculation. So just leave it as general, because they are all numbers. But if it's a text, like word, motor vehicle, make sure you select text for them. And when you're done with that, you come and click on finish, and automatically it's going to separate them. So this is a text, this is a text, whereas these ones, they are numbers. You can actually use them in your computation. We check the bottom, you see that it's calculating, right? So this is how to know whether something is calculating. So at the bottom here, you can see average, we counted it, and also we have, it summed it as well. So, and I know that with this now, a lot of us, we have already grabbed what we are doing. So let's try something again. Let's try and select more than one space. Let's try and select more than one space. Okay, let's try and select 2 spaces. Then we'll come back to our data. Let's see if it's going to work. Come back to our data, click on text to column. Okay, so you can select, that means that you can select for as many data as possible. So instead of us doing it one after the other, just select all the data range that is on your, the data are in column A, select column A, then you come here, click on, is always going to select fixed weight, which is good. Then you click on next, right? Click on next again. Then you now set, what is this thing that is here? This is a accumulated depreciation. This is carrying amount. Both of them, they are not to be general, they should be text. Because they are text, fine. Then the other ones, they should be general because they are numbers. They should be general, and we are good to go. Then just press finish. When you press finish, you can see that here, we only have accumulated depreciation, we only have carrying amount here, we have the numbers here, we have the numbers here, we have the numbers here. So let me be sure that you are following, you understand what we are doing. The first thing we did is we learn how to join things together. The second thing that we did is we now learn how to separate them. So to separate them, you need to go to your data tab. From the data tab, you now look for where you see text to column. Follow the instruction that is there and you're going to achieve it. Okay, so I believe that we've gotten that. Let's now go and look at something else. We come to this area, we look at this is another exercise that we're given, right? This is another exercise. So what I'm saying is that text to column, use the text to column function to separate the names above into surname and first name, right? Note, for long range of cells, use the delimiter options. So for long range of cells, use delimiter options, click next and click to check, space under delimiter, and then click next, then click finish. So when we have a long range of cells, right? When you have a long range of cells, so let's do something again. Let's come over here. Because these names are already separated, right? The first thing we want to do is that we first want to join them together. So what we do is that we come to our column C, we click, and then we right click. When we right click, we want to click on insert. When you insert them, we want to first join these names together so that we can now go back and do text to column to separate them, okay? So to join them together, you first say here, you come here, you now say equals to. So here now we are using at the top, I'm putting the function name. We want to concatenate. Concatenate. That's what we want to do here. That's what we want to achieve. Then we're also going to okay, let's do that first. So here we now say equal to concatenate. We open our brackets, then we select the word we want to join. We put a comma, then we now also put, we put the quote, and then we put another quote. Then after that, we put a comma, right? Then we select the next word. Then we close our bracket. We click on enter. Then we can now autofill it by coming to the right hand side. If our plus changes to the big plus, you right click and everything works the way we want it to do. So here now, you can see that here, all these things are together as a name. So let's now put two columns again. We come here, we want to put two columns, right? So let's now right click and put two columns, fine. So now want to separate, no, I don't need two columns actually. Let me undo. Okay. I have to undo this thing. Let me undo first. Now we can see that, let's put only one column. There's something I want to try. We can see that here we have this formula that we have here. So since it's formula, will Excel allow us to separate a formula? Okay, or will Excel just separate the formula inside itself? So let's click on here. It's a name, right? We come to data. When we come to data, we come to text to column, right? So look at it. Excel will not, this is what Excel want to split for us. This is what Excel want to split for us. And Excel is telling us that when you have a long list of data like this, the best thing to use is to use delimiter. That's what they tell us. Use delimiter. Characters such as commas or tabs separate each field. So that when you have a long list of data, the best thing to use is the limiter. So we see that here will not work because it's not formula that I want to separate, it's a name. So what do we do? First of all, come here, we copy it and paste it special. So let's copy this one. We copy it like this, right? We copy, then we can come to any other place. Let's add more space to this thing. Let me add more space. Okay, so let me press escape. Then I come here, I add more space to this thing. Okay, I want to insert to have more space there. Okay, fine. So now this thing that we have here, we want to copy it and paste it special under because we don't want to separate this thing. So we copy here, we now come here, we come and paste it special at the beginning here. We come and paste it special at the beginning. We right click, right? Then we now click on this 1, 2, 3. This 1, 2, 3 that you can see here, that is out of space value. We click on it and voila, we have done what we want to achieve. So the next thing we want to do is that hold on. Oh. So this, I want to move this thing down. I want to move it down. Okay, so fine. So we've moved it down. So what we want to do is that we've been able to paste this one special. So the first thing we want to do is that we want to now, we've concatenated, right? We've concatenated. So the next thing we want to do now is we want to do text to column. That is the next thing we want to do now. So let's come here and let's do text to column. So I want to move this, I want to move all this name down 1 bit. I want to move it down 1 bit. So I come here, I click, then I put it here. Fine. So at the top here, I want to do text to column. Text to column. That's what I want to do here. So what we do is that when I come here to where the names are, we can select everything. Select all the names and let's separate them once. So when you select all the names at once, right? Select all the names at once, then come to your data. When you come to your data, then go to your, where is my text to column? So this is the text to column. When you click on it, so this is it. Now, we want to separate it. So let's try the first one, which is delimiter, okay? Let's click on next. Okay, so we now put commas. Let's try what this one will give us. Let's put comma, or we can put space, or so on and so forth. So let's put commas. Then the next thing I want to do is I want to click on next, right? It's telling that this R is going to show, okay? It's going to be text, not general. It should be text, actually. Then we also click on finish. Let's see what happens. So now what he's doing is that when you are using that, if the things are joined together, like there's no space between it. For instance, if let me do something, let's assume these things that are joined together, there's no space between it, right? So that's when you are going to use, let's assume these things are joined together, there's no space between it. That's when you can separate it that way. But let's leave it like this. So let's go and use the other way. The other way is the right way. We click here. We click here. When we click here, oh, sorry. We select all the area where the data is again. Then you come to data. When you come to data, look for text to column. When you click on text to column, then we are seeing that is the limiter. We don't want the limiter. Let's look at fixed weight. That's what we want to do. Then we'll now click on next. We click on next. Then we click on next again. Then it should be text. Okay. Then when I click on finish. Okay, it's not actually responding. It's not giving us what we want. So let's do one by one. Let's do one by one again. Let's come here. Let's go to text to column. Then click on just fixed weight. Click on next. So I think it's better you select just one, or maybe at most select like 2 or 3. Let's try it again. Let's select like 4 at once. Let's select 4 at once, 4 or 3 or 4 at once. Let's go back to data. Then we'll now come to our text to column. Okay, so you can do 4. Let's try for 5. Let's see 5. Let's select 5 or 6. We're selecting 6 or 7. Right. So let's now come over again and check from our data. Okay, we go to text to column. Yeah, we can do that. So why is it not giving us each? No, let's see. Not delimiter, we want it fixed rate. Then let's come here. We now see no, we don't want this way. So it has to be just like 3 or 2 is what we can do at a goal. We can do 3 or 2 at a goal. So let's check here, fit rate. We don't want this. That means you can do 1 at a go. Let's click on 1. Okay, 1. We come to data, come to text to column. Yeah, then we now come to want fixed rate. We come to next. Yeah, so I think this is it. So this is what we want to achieve. So this is what we want to achieve. Then we click on next again. Then they are not general, they are all text. They are all text. And we click on finish. And automatically it's going to separate it. So you should know what you are using. That means that it's not allowing us to select as many as we want to select. So that is how it is. Any question before we move away from here? Any question? Remember, our class is only going to be for 1 hour. So today, because I am not home, I just needed to still give us this class today. I'm not home and I need to get home. So if we have any question, it's almost 8 now. We have like 6 minutes to. So let's just make this class very short today because I am not home and I need to get home. So that is that. So we shall be closing it very soon.
Sorry,
okay.
Sir.
All right.
You try to split the text and it was not working.
Yes.
Like, the other time when you try the concatenate function, there was an alternative formula you use.
Yes.
So I don't know if this splitting of a thing, does it have an alternative formula that we can try? Or is it just the like going through the data tab or?
Yeah, so for now, that is the only way. You come to the data tab, then when you come to the data tab, you can see that this is the only thing, right? So text to column. Then if you have your data, you want to remove duplicates, right? You can also remove duplicates. So always come to the data tab. You can see a lot of things I need to do. So if you click on this drop down, normally, if it has a shortcut, we would have seen the shortcut. There's no shortcut for it. It's only one method you can use to separate data. So that is it. There is no shortcut to it, right? So this is how you know whether your text can be separated. So let's select 2 again. When we select 2 again, we come back to our data. Then we come to text to column. Now so it should not be delimiter. Click on fixed weight, then click on next. So from here already you can tell whether it's going to divide this into 2 or not. You can see that here it's not showing sign that it wants to divide it into 2. So let's close this thing. Let's go back to the first text to column we did. So in this place, we're able to separate this thing, right? Even though there were more than one word, we're able to separate. So let me go back and copy again. This is what we did. We copied this thing. We come back to this place. At times, something may not work, probably because of the Excel sheet you are using. So the Excel sheet, they will not give you what you want to achieve. So here we have 4 items, right? So what we now do is that we now come. So for you to know that this sheet may be the one that is giving us the issue, we come back to this sheet. Let's select all the 4 together, right? We come back to our data. When we come to our data, we come to our text to column. You click on it, then you can see. Then let's now come to, so you can see that here is giving us anytime it's selecting fixed width. Okay, it means that it's going to separate it into 4. Let's now check the next. You can see that. So it is actually going to separate it into 4. So then that means that once you click on it and on its own, it's selecting delimiter. Know that there is problem, right? So it should be fixed width. When you select fixed width, then click on next. You will see that on its own, it's going to tell you how it's going to split it. So, and it's telling us this is how it's going to. So it could be this our sheet that was giving us the issue, and not necessarily the this thing that we have here. So let's now check that we are good to go. We agree with what we are seeing. What we are seeing is fine. We click on next again. Then here, we want here to be text. So we now come here, we now say this should be text. You can see that this thing is very sensitive. The other time, it splitted motor and vehicle. It splitted them into two. If you remember, it splitted motor and vehicle into different things. But now it's not splitting them, it's adding them together. So this is a text. We are telling it is a text, right? Then we are checking all these ones. This ones are general and it's fine. Then we are good with what we have. Let's click on finish. And automatically it has separated it. Now let's now go and copy this same thing that we have here, which is a formula. Okay, we want to paste it special and see what happens in that other sheet. So let's copy all these things like this. Control C. Okay, Control C. We come back to this our place. Okay, we come back here. Then we come here and we come and paste it special. So here, right click and click on this 1, 2, 3. Once you click on it, fine. So everywhere is still selected. Then go to your data. Once you go to your data, go to your text to column, and it's selected delimiter. Let's say we want to fix it. Let's try fix it. Then we come to next. So you can see here, there's a problem. Already it's telling us that it's not going to answer us the way we want it to answer us. So it's not working. That means that here we have to do it one after the other. But let us not also give up. Let's assume it's because we are actually copying this thing from another sheet. What if we type it manually by ourselves? Let's try something again. Let's assume it's because we copied. Let's try and type something manually by ourselves. Okay, let's try and see. That's number one. We can say Taiwo John. So let's just test it. Taiwo John, say Dele Matthew. I hope I know how to spell Matthew, Sha. Okay. Isaac John. Isaac John, and then we have what else do we have? We have King Solomon. So here is what we have. So we have this. Let's add another one to it. We can have Timothy Jude. Okay, so let's try this by ourselves. Let's see whether it's going to give us the same issue. We type this one by ourselves. Let's see if it's a copying that we copy that is the issue. Let's now come back to our data. Let's come back to our text to column, and let's see. Let's select this fixed width. Let's click on next, and it's not going to give us what we want. It's not going to give us what we want. Let's continue again. So it's just going to give us like, let's see, they say this screen lets you select each column and set the data format. Okay, so with this now, we have come to the end of this class. And obviously, we can see what is attainable and what is not attainable. So when you have this kind of data now, it may not answer you the way you want it. So you might need to try doing it probably 2 by 2 or so and so. So with that, if you have any question, you can ask the question. If you don't have any question, we can call it a day because I need to get going. Any question? 2 minutes. So if you don't have any questions, okay.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Okay, my name is Bukola.
All
and
right.
I'm actually joining the class for the first time. This is really awesome, as in thank you very much for doing this. I wanted to find out if we would have practice questions of this.
Yes, I will drop it. Yeah.
Okay. All right,
yeah,
thank you.
Yeah. So we've been able to see what, now we can see that text to column is a little bit tricky. So I'm going to like give you more clarity on it, probably when I try to drop something on it in the group. Okay. So on that note, do have a lovely night, and we continue tomorrow. Sorry that today is very short. Tomorrow will be longer than this. Thank you very much, everybody.